What's up guys, this is Jason and I've got another advanced tutorial for you lined up to talk about how to use icon fonts. So why would you want to use an icon font? Well, have you ever needed to include an icon on a web page? You probably want to use an icon font. Here's why. Icon fonts allow you to store hundreds of icons within a single file, and as you know, a big part of your overhead and transfer time is with HTTP requests. You can colorize them with CSS and they're resolution independent so they look good on high density screens. You would not want to use an icon font if you needed an icon to have multiple colors. For the most part, icon fonts replace sprite sheets. So what is an icon font? Well, it's actually a font. You're all used to fonts, you use them all the time. You bring up text edit, I type some text, this is probably Arial. An icon font is a font file where each glyph for each character, instead of it being the shape of a letter, is some other shape. The most popular kind of icon font is probably Font Awesome. You can see they've got all kinds of them. And that's what this is. In fact, if you click on one, like the eye, this is a font. If I come in here and I inspect this, bring up DevTools, change its font size to over here to, let's say, 20 pixels, it gets tiny. Or if I make it 2000 pixels, it gets huge. See that? Beautiful. You can also colorize it. So I can come in here and say color red. See that? These icons were all requested with a single HTTP request. So that's what you're going to want to be using for icons. So we're going to talk about kind of how to use them and how to make them. One of the easiest ways to make these is you're going to start with probably Illustrator and you're going to get some vector artwork from a designer. So let's say I had an Illustrator file with a shape. There we go. Nice, awesome, drunken shape. And let's go ahead and increase the size of that sucker to something respectable. There we go. Nice drunken shape. Now, this is a stroke, and so we're probably going to want to flatten it. So we'll say outline stroke. There we go. Got a nice shape. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure that your artboard is the same size as the layer. So we're going to do artboards, fit artwork bounds. There we go. Then we're going to do a save as, and we're going to save this sucker as line. And you're going to save it out as an SVG. Scalable Vector Graphics. It's an XML format. We'll do a video on it sometime. Save it out as SVG 1.1, hit OK, and you got yourself a pretty line. Then what you're going to do is head over to IcoMoon. You can Google for it. They provide a nice service, but they also provide a free app that you can use, a web-based app. So here's a font set that I previously used, but if I wanted to add an icon to this, I could just come over here to import icons. And at that point, I can bring in from my delete me folder the line, and there you go. Now I can see that this has a fill in it, which I should have deleted ahead of time. So let's go ahead and take care of that. So I'm just going to delete that, come back over to Illustrator, make a different line that does not have a fill, stroke it out with something a little bit bigger, maybe something like that, then go ahead and flatten it. And then go ahead and save it out, and we'll just replace the file that's there. The IcoMoon app is a HTML5 app that maintains local storage, so it will actually persist your fonts even if you reload the page, even without logging in. So that's kind of nice. Click Import Fonts, bring it in. There's our line. I want to make sure that that's active. I can go to Select All, or just that one. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and keep these, and I'll click Font down here at the bottom. And right here, I can assign a name to it, like line, or I can call it anything I want. I can assign it a key code, so like I might type, let's say X. There we go. And what I've mapped is the key code for X will be our line. And the names up here will correspond to the CSS classes that you will use. So then what you're going to do is you're going to click download, and it downloads your icon font. And if you open up that downloaded file, what you'll end up with is a set of kind of demo files. If I open this up, you'll see that this is actually HTML, and these are the icon font. So you can strip out the code that's being used here. So if you open up your styles, take a look at this. What you're going to do is define your font face right there. You're going to point it to the path of the icon font files. And you can see that there are 4 versions to support the various browsers that are out there, but it's just an icon. It's just a font file. No different than Times New Roman, Arial, whatever you want to call it. Comic Sans, if you like that. This is the font file that you're going to reference. If you're using Sass or some sort of precompiler, you can make these paths dynamic. But that's pretty much it. And so the way that you're going to use these, and you can see here that they're just CSS classes. So inside of your HTML, and I'll just open this up with TextEdit right now, is what you can do is inside your body, you're going to create an element, such as an icon element, part of HTML5. And then you're going to add a class to it, and you're going to call it icon-line. And this would be no different than had I typed this, where this X were inside of an inline element and styled with a particular font family. Except in this case, this will be our actual line. And you can see that you can lock onto this class and style it, make it a size, make it a color, do whatever you want. And that's how you use an icon font and how you make one. They're incredibly useful. If you're doing any kind of icons, this is the way to do it.